Peoples, what's going on? It's your boy Gene here, and I'm here with my boys. We got Randy, we got Benji, and we're here to talk about it.
Okay, so today's topics, well, our first topic is going to be about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the scandal that Porsha Williams is in right now. So my question is to the both of you is, okay, so Porsha has always been a girl who always, even in the recent season, talking about girl code and everything. So is it actually girl code to be engaged after a month to a person who was your friend or a person who was possibly friends with your husband? Gene, what do you think about that?
Oh, well, first, like, gagged. Okay. I think Porsha, I want to start off with saying Porsha gagged the world. Okay. She broke the internet with one post. Okay. And it was, I'm newly engaged to an ex-cast member, or not cast member, but someone who was on the show's husband. Like, so it was just, I'm a huge fan of Porsha. Porsha, I love you to death. But I mean, this does make you take a step back and be like, I just need more details because I'm so confused. Like, 1 minute you are in this girl's house on a show, and like I did watch a couple of interviews since then, like with anything about it, because it's all over the place. So I watched everything about it, and I seen that when Fallon was on Candy Speak on it, she said that she was brought on the show through Porsha, but she said that she really didn't know Porsha like that. She only knew Porsha through her husband, who was friends with Porsha's ex-fiance.
Exactly. That's even messier than the whole girl code that she so obviously say that she all about.
Yeah.
I mean, what you think, Randy?
Yeah, it's messy.
I mean, do you think it's messy, or I mean, is that just her following her heart? Remember, her husband, the guy that she got her daughter by, PJ, she only knew him for so long, and the next thing you know, she was knocked up and trying to get married. So
we do agree.
Like that?
We agree that she moves fast. We agree she moves fast.
Yeah, but it started to seem like she's looking for a check now.
I would say this. For her to kind of be a pretty girl, she don't really. I mean, she's a pretty girl.
She's a pretty girl.
Yeah.
I don't think that she is really out looking for someone that, not to say she came from the bottom, but essentially
no, she comes from money.
I know. So it's like, okay, I don't know.
I feel like
it was big in civil rights and everything.
I feel like when you come from money, there is like a certain standard that you want to uphold. Like, even though, because she does come from money, but her money that she is generating now comes from her different little lucrative businesses.
But it's a difference between coming from like money, like long money versus, middle class. Your family's comfortable, you got a house, you can afford, school. But still at the same time, when, she got on, she wasn't
like, she was very prissy when she came on there. She was very Miss Housewife, Martha Stewart type or whatever.
But she's not that no more.
She found out that her husband was a queen. Next thing you know, she was out there twerking, and she was the thotty-otty and all this other stuff like that. No class at all.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like she's a Hillary Banks or Regine Kemp. Regine.
No,
she's not a woman like that. You look like, oh my gosh, she's so classy. I couldn't believe
exactly. It. So like, are you really surprised that she did this? I'm not.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm surprised. And I feel like the world is surprised because even though Porsha doesn't give you, like, she definitely evolved, or like, she evolved. For me, it was an evolve. Some people
wasn't like a flip flop.
Like, some people might think that she like flip flopped backwards or went backwards because she started off as such a housewife, and then she started to.
It seems like she had standards when she first got there.
I feel like she still do, but I feel like that we forget that she's also a young Black woman who like wants to have fun, and her audience like I think what she realizes that her audience, like she got on a show called Real Housewives, and her audience aren't Real Housewives. Her audience are Real Housewives, but her fan base aren't. They're the go get 'em girls that want to be out there popping, twerking, locking. So she evolved with the show to be more to fit more of her audience. You get what I'm saying? Like
Would you
that's
call
how I
that an
feel.
evolution?
And I feel like all of them did it. I feel like all the Real Housewives did it. I feel like Nene evolved to get the audience she want. I feel like Kenya evolved. She realized, okay, I can be the arch nemesis of the show. Let me try to be bigger than Nene, like because Nene's the protagonist. Let me take her spot. Everybody goes through this phase of evolution.
The only
And
person I would say that evolved would be kind of like Candy. Like she was very reserved when she
I
came.
feel like she's the least evolved. I feel like she came on the show and she's still the way that she is when she came on the show.
No, she's more open. Like I feel like it's not an evolution where as though like she changed her personality, but
She wasn't changing for television. This
exactly.
is who she was. This is
Right.
who
But
she
she
is.
evolved because you could see her personality more. You could
Right.
understand her.
Exactly.
Like that's the
Exactly.
one I want to hang out with.
Exactly.
No, that's
Not with
all based
Kenya,
on
too.
that's your opinion. That's based on your opinion of who you like. Everybody ain't gonna want to hang out with Candy because some people might think Candy's kind of boring. She don't drink. Like she turns up when like bringing the sex stuff, but she's not like to me. Candy wouldn't be the
So
first
she'll be
girl I
fun
think.
to a hug.
Right.
But that's kind of good for me. Like you could
Oh,
be
so you saying
fun
you a
without
hug?
drinking.
Okay.
No. So wait, real quick, I do want to say this. I do think with this situation, I think Porsha, when it comes from when you come from money, like then your line starts differently. Like us, we want better than what we came in. Like you know what I mean? So she wants better than what she was born into because that's just she don't know anything worse than that. So that is her like baseline. Like you get what
So
I'm
does
saying?
that mean you switch up your morals to do it?
Oh
I mean, like
no. Now the way she did
the
it,
whole
the way
the
she did
whole
it,
situation is just so fishy to me. You bring this girl on the show, you say you're not friends, but you brought her onto the show. She knows you through your husband because your husband knows her ex-husband, which they're not even divorced yet, and he's already engaged to Porsha. And another thing, while he was with Porsha, he was also with this other girl that just popped up out of nowhere while she's taking photos in his car. And then now you hear that now all of a sudden Porsha has this spin-off show. To me, it
yeah,
just seemed like another clout chase
yeah.
of a
Yeah.
woman that just lessened her morals just to get a check.
I don't honestly, yeah. You can say it's to get a check because getting a show spinoff is a check. So like, you know what I mean?
But
So,
that's the part is like, dude, is that what you want to be remembered for?
Exactly.
but I feel like she's not done. We don't know how long this show could last. Um,
Because, but listen, you have to think of it like this. Like, you have to really, really be willing to sell your soul because look at Nene, because Nene is probably one of the most popular housewives. They have
right,
never given her a spinoff show,
right,
ever.
right.
You have to wonder why.
So you think
Like,
there is the cost may be too high for
exactly.
the actor
Like, and
for
being engaged to your
talent?
friend, her ex-husband.
Yeah, that's a spin. But we seen them give spinoffs to like they gave how did
Only other people that got spinoff is Candy,
right,
Kim, and that's it.
right. So
No,
that was
nobody
it.
else. Yeah,
Portia never had a spinoff before.
no.
This is her first one.
This is the first one.
Okay. I just see her. They just put her on a lot of their other stuff, but
You have to really, really just, I guess, sell your soul. I mean,
I hope not. I hope not.
well,
The whole
listen, the hope is
situation
farther,
is
further and further because that's a 3-part special
the whole
about her
situation.
life and family.
Right.
And this is why I understood when Kenya was like, she hopes that she's not doing the whole Black Lives Matter thing for clout and just to get attention and to get arrested just for attention. Because when you look into the backstory from what I heard, that Candy was also doing stuff for Black Lives Matter, but Porsha kind of usurped her, so that could be her storyline.
Right.
Why can't y'all both do it?
Right. I was watching that and I heard that, and what I got from it was that it was definitely miscommunication
Was it?
between all of them. because they looked at
Porsha
it as
always have a lot of
because
miscommunication for a person who don't know what the Underground Railroad was. So I guess I'm not surprised.
what you're talking about is when Candy was explaining how she went to the executives because she wanted to use more black the crew to be black, like the I forget what they call it.
No, that wasn't it.
Hold on, no, because she was talking about being more inclusive with the black people in the hiring. The higher up, she said we need a black person on the executive board, some person who's making those big decisions. We need a black person up there, and she wanted to do stuff for BLM. They said they wanted to make a donation as a group, but Candy went and did her own thing, and Porsha looked at it like oh, we talked about it as a group, and then you went to do your thing, but it wasn't.
No, it was
Candy
the other way
had nothing
around.
to do with what they wanted to do. And I do understand where Candy was coming from. Like, if you want to make a donation, then make a donation. Like, I didn't understand the whole needing to go through.
I understood it. Porsha was being sneaky, making sure she had her storyline.
Like what? Like for the donation?
No, for the whole her doing the protest and all this other stuff like that. That was her storyline.
So you don't believe it's real?
I believe it's real, yes, but I also believe it was for clout also. Those two things could both exist together.
I would believe it was for clout if Porsha had if it was like Porsha, if she had a camera crew or something there, she made sure
there was a camera crew there. You saw her get arrested.
Yeah, but that wasn't from Porsha's camera crew.
It was because she knew they were filming, so she knew she had a camera crew.
No, she didn't know they was filming. They just so happened to start filming.
You're contracted to film. She was filming at the protest, and not only were they filming the protest, they showed it was on the phone too. They showed the phone footage too.
But so she was getting arrested. Filming. She was not filming. She was not filming for Real Housewives.
How did we see her get arrested?
No, yeah, because that was filmed. I said she wasn't filming Real Housewives at the time she got arrested.
No, not at the time, but she filmed it. She filmed it and made sure it went out there.
She probably. I don't think she filmed it. I don't think she filmed it, but I definitely, if there was a video of me getting arrested, I would definitely share it too. I would share it too. I don't think it was for a storyline. I believe that she believed in the Black Lives Movement.
What did she really have going on besides Black Lives Matter movement and her feud with Kenya? And by now, we're all tired of that feud with her and Kenya.
If she want to sleep with the stripper, she can sleep with the goddamn stripper.
She can, that's true. But don't call everybody else a whore when, you having bop behavior.
That's not a whore. And what Kenya did,
bop behavior.
What Kenya did, filling all on the pile, jumping on, and that was a whore move.
That was flirty.
That's a whore move. Just like everybody want to go in the past and dig up Porsha's past. Oh, she don't know what the Underground Railroad is. Like,
she don't.
Right, but let's not forget.
And that's bad for your grandfather to be a civil rights leader and you not know what the Underground Railroad is.
Yeah, it's horrible. But what's even more horrible is
that's very dense.
What's even more horrible is there are a lot of people in the world that did not know that it was not actually a railroad.
Not a lot of black people.
It's a lot of black people in the world that did not know. People. They do not know what the Underground Railroad is. They don't know what it is. But what I'm saying is, there are people, like, because of Black history, because of our Black history, the way it's been treated, a lot of people don't know exactly what the Black Underground Railroad is.
That's really sad. I don't believe a lot of people don't know that. I think that was a special case for buffoon.
It's not. It wasn't. And this is me experience. I'm not making this up. This is people I ran into and talked to. Maybe everybody in y'all.
Was it black people?
They were black and white people. Black, white people, Spanish people, nobody.
No. You got to understand that in a lot of these people's schools, Black history wasn't taught. That's number one.
That's what I'm saying.
White schools. But also, even though it wasn't taught, we didn't have African-American history or nothing like that in elementary school, middle school, but we still had to do reports and stuff and research things. And we all had encyclopedias around. So there's no excuse not to know what it is.
So just because there's information all around us, mean we're just supposed to know it.
Yes. If you can find out about, if you can go and find out a man's net worth before you start dating him, you can find out what the Underground Railroad is.
I feel as though information is everywhere.
Right.
So for you to be on TV and you come from that background, civil rights background, you should already know your due diligence.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Right. I do believe that it was like for her to make that mistake, it looked horrible.
It was bad.
Because of her background. But I'm not going to sit here and act like she's the only Black person in the world making that mistake.
No, she's not the only Black person to make a mistake, but she's in a small majority.
I wish I could say it was small. I think because of TV, maybe it's not as small as it was, because we got Harriet Tubman, the Underground, and all these things showing us exactly what the Underground
They've been showing it all
was.
Harriet Tubman for decades.
Huh?
They've been showing us Harriet Tubman for decades.
No. I'm talking about like on TV, the movies and stuff. They haven't.
But not even before these movies. When we were growing up, there were no movies about Harriet Tubman, but
Right.
we knew about her.
Right, but you didn't know the extent.
Yes, we did. We knew about her, and she was connected to. She was known for the slaves in the Underground Railroad.
We know what she was known for.
Exactly.
What I'm talking
So
about
why
is the
didn't she?
Underground Railroad part. I'm not talking about Harriet Tubman. We all know Harriet Tubman. What I'm
But
saying,
you know her from the Underground Railroad.
no, you know her because she freed slaves.
On the Underground Railroad.
I know, through the Underground Railroad, but just because you know Harriet Tubman don't mean,
about that.
just because you know Harriet Tubman don't mean you know what the Underground Railroad was. Don't
Why
mean
would you know Harriet Tubman?
But because you know she freed slaves.
How?
She bought them from the South to the North.
Exactly.
On the Underground Railroad.
All right. Let me ask you this, Benji. Let me ask you and Ren. What was the Underground Railroad? What was it?
Huh?
It was
What
a connection of
Railroad?
safe houses and passages for the
passageways that people went through underground to get from one place. So they traveled from one place.
No,
They got the Pennsylvania.
No, bye, Benji, you're wrong. And I'm going to make sure
it was houses.
You're wrong. And Randy, you're only part right.
How?
The Underground Railroad was more than just houses. It was star constellations. It was pathways. It was it was the people who left the candles and
Abolitionists.
shit.
Okay, that's fine and all, but we still know.
So you didn't even know what the fucking Underground Railroad was, and you're condemning somebody. Talk about people going underground. Bitch, ain't nobody underground. They not Mexican. We're not building tunnels. We're not doing the tunnel.
He had a Porsche moment. He thought it was a train station.
Moment. Should we condemn him? That's all I'm asking.
She thought it was a train station.
You did too.
You thought it was a tunnel. I'm done.
I thought they went underground sometime.
And so everything you just said before that,
that has nothing, because I knew what the Underground Railroad was.
Out the window.
I don't know all the details.
Let's talk about Kenya Moore wearing the Indian garment, the Native American headpiece, and being like,
I don't think anything was wrong with that. And the people that complained about it, mostly Drew. If you go back about a couple years, she had on the same outfit.
I'm not talking about Drew. I'm not talking about.
You're talking about Kenya, and they.
I'm talking about Kenya. I'm talking about Kenya. I'm not talking about nobody else's opinion.
No, but you're talking about her Indian outfit.
Yes, her Native American headpiece. So let's talk about it. I think she's in the media. She's been in the media all her life, all my life, I could say. She's been in the media all my life, so she should know what's appropriate and what's not.
How isn't that appropriate?
Especially when most people, claiming.
Exactly. How was that? People just wanted to be outraged because a lot of them don't like her. There's nothing behind her shit on the Indian headpiece, really?
If the Native American culture find it offensive, it's offensive.
But nobody Native American culture said it was offensive.
Yes, they did. If you watch the reunion, she said they reached out to her and told her why it was offensive.
No, it wasn't offensive.
How you gonna tell them?
Because I got Native Americans in my family.
Are they 100% Native off the reservation? No, bye.